right, so Abby, let's get you in the hot seat here. Plead the fifth. 5 really difficult questions designed to make her squirm a little bit. She can back out of one of them if she's a yeller.
Question number 1, Abby. You've endured some pretty bad friendship breakups. Which one are you most glad is over?
All of them. I'm trying to think. I think the older you get, the more you're less surprised by people. How do I put it? You're less surprised by bad things that happen in your life. So for me, I would say I had a really bad one in high school that I just didn't understand. It was like me and my best friend were both in the same pageant. I won. She didn't. She was mad she didn't win. She stopped talking to me. And so when you're in high school, you don't understand, like, people can be complicated and, it comes out of nowhere and then you have nowhere to sit with at lunch. So probably that one.
Have you gone back to your high school reunion yet?
No, it's actually supposed to be this year, but I don't think we're having one. I don't think people do high school reunions anymore.
You didn't really like high school anyway, did you?
Oh my God, I hated high school.
Right.
High school was not fun for me. So yeah, probably the ones in high school.
Yeah, but that's when you go back and you flaunt your success.
Yeah, they can see it on Instagram. I already know they're stalking me and making fun of me. I'm in several group chats, I promise you.
I guarantee you it's because we can keep up with each other on social media now. There really doesn't seem to be a need or want to do one.
Yeah.
Why would you? I can just stalk you on Facebook and look at where you went on vacation the last 7 years.
Yeah, let's not actually hang out with each other and talk to each other in person.
No. From high school? No.
Nah, we could just DM each other.
Never went to one of mine.
All right.
Is that right?
I didn't either. Not a one.
I went to the 10-year and I was so pleasantly surprised that everybody was really kind of the same. The 15th, that's when they start to change. And the guys that were studs, I was like, you lost your hair.
All right. You've been honest and said you and your brother aren't super tight.
Y'all are just really going in for it.
When your brother gets married, do you think you'll be in the wedding?
Yeah, I for sure will be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because your mom will demand it.
Yeah, probably. me and his girlfriend are cool, and I think I come from a very traditional family, and so they'll do the traditional thing, which is to invite the sister to be in the wedding.
Yeah. You're probably going to be standing at the register watching people sign in.
I'm going to be at the back of the line. I'm going to be in the wedding, but I'm going to be the least important person in the wedding.
It's called the guest book, Tommy, not the register.
Is register the funeral?
Yes, maybe.
All right. Has anybody on the show ever said anything on the air that really hurt your feelings?
That really hurt my feelings? Not on the air, but that's not the question, so I don't have to answer it.
Oh, wow, go ahead.
We'll save that one for next time.
I got 2 questions left. And guess what question's next? Go ahead. Answer.
No. What does it say on the list, Tommy? What do you have written down?
This is my list.
No, I want to know what was on the list before I had that amazing
anybody on the
teaser.
show
Welcome to
ever
Tommy's
said
world.
Anything that really hurt your feelings?
I'm not answering that.
Anytime.
Plead the fifth.
Oh, you just wasted one of the questions, man.
That's what you get, Thomas.
All right. Now I have to choose between the real last 2. All right. You guys, the youth group of the Bert Show, have a podcast called Personality Hires. It's on the Bert Show.
Who do you think should be out of the podcast?
On Bert's Pioneer Network. Rank the youth group members based on their performance on said podcast.
Dang. So you're not getting rid of them. You gotta rank them.
Might have used that plead the fifth too soon.
Let me guess. Abby first.
No, I probably put myself last. Let me think. Rebecca is the one that edits it, usually, except I edited this week. So I'm going to put me and her in the top 2 places because we do the most labor. So Rebecca number 1, me number 2, Amber number 3, Jackson, Mikey.
Really?
I mean, that doesn't really say much. I like everyone. So it's not I think Mikey's terrible. I think he doesn't deserve to be on the podcast. It's just, I'm just looking at who carries the most weight on their back.
Yeah, I thought Jackson was really very hands-on. Nope. Okay. Does anybody really get 8 hours of sleep? It always ticks me off when I'm reading things that say, you really need 8 hours of sleep, right? I don't know anybody that gets 8 hours of sleep. Some of us get 5.5. Some of us get 6, but there's no one that gets 8. Jackson is struggling with this right now.
Big time.
Yeah.
At the start of this year, I kind of started on a bit of a health and fitness journey, and I've been really proud of myself. I've been being really consistent in working out 5 days a week. I've been tracking what I've been eating a little bit better.
How's the marathon training go?
Marathon training's going, half marathon.
Half marathon, pardon.
Half marathon. And I actually signed up for a 10 miler that's happening in a few months. Like I've been just doing what I feel like are all the right steps up until this point. But part of your recovery and all this stuff, and people dote as being so important, is your sleep, right? And so I have a fitness tracker that's conveniently a ring that I wear every day, and it stays charged for a few days, and I wear it when I go to sleep. And the biggest reason why I've been wearing this has been to track my sleep, to see what I'm really getting at night. Because sometimes you're in bed for a certain amount of time, but that's not necessarily the amount that you're actually sleeping, right? And let me tell you, the results have been absolutely shocking over the last 2 months that I've been wearing this. So let me just read what the last little bit of sleep that I've been getting. 4 hours and 4 minutes, 5 hours and 5 minutes, 4 hours 18, 4 hours 50, 5 hours 7, 5:23, 4:29, 5:26, 3 hours 7, 5 hours flat, 4:34, 4:11.
So you just can't fall asleep, so you will lay in bed, and is your what they're calling sleep hygiene, is that good?
A lot of that, so it's two things. One is how long it takes me to get to sleep. Some nights I'm really tired and I'm able to fall asleep pretty early, but sometimes I do have this weird sleep delay where it takes me 2 hours for me to fall asleep. And then on the nights where it takes me a while or I can fall asleep early, I'm waking up a lot in the middle of the night, 2-3 times, and it's taking me a while to fall back asleep in those times too.
So this has been a major problem for me for so long. In fact, it's funny that you're talking about this morning, because literally this morning I sent an email out to do one of those sleep studies where you spend the night somewhere and they observe you all night long, because nothing seems to be working for me. And I too have all these sleep trackers and health trackers and stuff like that, but when I check in the morning, none of them say the same thing. But they all agree on one thing, that I cannot get into deep sleep. So it doesn't matter if I have 6 hours or 7 hours or 9 hours on the weekend, I can't get into that deep sleep. And that's where you do most of your healing and your body rests. And if you're not getting into that, you're going to be sick. And now I'm in a panic about it.
So I am one of the people you hate who gets 738 hours of sleep a night, and I'm still tired.
In an RV!
In an RV.
In an RV!
But I am a sleepy girl, and I need 9 hours. But anyway, do you drink every single day?
No, I do not.
Okay, because that's one thing that, as I got older, even one glass of wine would wake me up during the night. Watching TV on my phone right before bed, you got to disconnect an hour and a half before bed and get rid of that blue light. There's a ton of stuff you can do to help with your circadian rhythm. It's not very conducive to normal life.
Right.
Yeah. And, the biggest advice that people always say is getting off the screens a little earlier. And that is just not what I've done. Yeah. That's the one piece that I haven't necessarily tried to fix all that much. And so, I don't know. That's easily the hardest part, I think, about, trying to make this change.
I've been a horrible sleeper my whole life. I think it's really mostly my thinking. And what's annoying about it is if I'm anywhere else, I feel like I can fall asleep on the spot. But the moment I get in the bed, all of a sudden I can't sleep and I'm not tired.
Couch tired is never the same as bed tired.
I don't get it. I do not get it. But the screen thing has worked for me. I stopped being on my screen an hour before I go to sleep, and I read 30 minutes before I go to sleep. It's helped me more than anything I've found so far.
All right, come on. You and me this week, because I struggle with the exact same thing as far as getting off my screen an hour before bed. So what time do you typically, what time do you want to go to sleep?
I usually try to get in bed at 10, and I'd like to be asleep by 10:30. That's my goal every night.
Okay, you and me, 9 o'clock, no screens.
Okay. I'll join this also. I'll go an hour before.
All right.
So that would be me getting off of a screen at ideally 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm down for the challenge.
All right, so
let's give it a try.
Let's do it this week. No screens after 9 p.m. for you and me. No screens after 8 p.m. for him.
Deal. I'll try it. I can do a week. Okay.
Y'all have fun.
All right. So while I was in Costa Rica last week, I was on this trip and we were chaperoning, Amanda and I were chaperoning my son and a bunch of 17 and 18-year-olds. And a lot of times we weren't with them, right? So we're hanging out with each other. And when Amanda and I hang out with each other on long periods of time, we come up with really random things to talk about. And I'm not even exactly sure how we got into this, but it was really, really interesting. And I asked these guys to come in with a list also. If you had a list of break the rules, a break the rules bucket list, what would be on your list? Okay. And I'll give you some examples because Amanda had so many and they were so random
that does
I'm like,
not shock
yeah,
me.
now I get it. Okay. And she had a lot more than I did. Okay. First of all, she wants to sneak onto a boat.
That would be fun.
That's good.
I don't know if she wants to steal the boat or just spend the night on it, but sneak onto a boat. Okay. She wants to run from security.
No, that's not as fun as it sounds.
She wants to crash a wedding. She wants to steal fruit from a fruit stand.
What? This is so random.
And
What is this, Aladdin?
or in New York or whatever, right? I don't know. She wants to crash a funeral and make a story up about how she knows the family and hug everybody and try to get in on the funeral also. Also for her bucket list of breaking the rules would be she wants to sweet talk her way out of a ticket. She wants to call a restaurant as a celebrity assistant and get a VIP private room. And then when they call you out on it, you're like, oh, they just didn't show up. But all of her friends are in there already. And she wants to steal a bike also.
Okay.
Bike? A lot of theft there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of theft.
Look, you might have a little klepto on your hands.
She's a lot of things.
Probably just roll that up into be a criminal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Just a felon.
Just for a day.
I didn't have that many, but I did realize, like, I've never punched anybody in the face, and I would like to see what that feels like.
It can feel pretty good.
Yeah. Not with boxing gloves.
Oh, yeah. Well, just don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
It can hurt a little bit.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that.
All right. I want to run onto a sporting field, a professional sporting field. Whenever I'm at like an Atlanta United game, excuse me, or a Braves game, any professional soccer, I always ask who's with me, how long do you think it would take if you jumped onto the field for security to take you down? And for me, it's always like 15 seconds. And the person that I'm with is like, minute and a half. And I'm like, there's no way. Because security is lined up all around, right? I would love to try that.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
During the game, too. Not like during the celebration when everybody's storming a court. That's too easy. Okay? Stay in a zoo overnight. So sneak into it and stay in there. Watch the animals all night. I want Amanda to throw a drink in my face at a bar and see how people would react. And I also want to dress like a valet and take a car around a block. Those would be break the rule bucket list. What do you got?
For me, I've already crashed a wedding before, so now I feel like to up the ante for that specific list, I need to like give a speech at somebody's wedding.
Oh my God.
That I'm not supposed to give a speech at. So if I'm crashing the wedding, I want to like give a speech towards the end of the night, or if it's a wedding I'm already at. If I'm not supposed to give a speech, I want to give a speech.
All the brides literally just threw up in their mouth a little
They were
bit.
like, no, please don't do that.
Our worst nightmare.
Admittedly, I don't like to break the rules, so this list was tough for me. So I felt like I had to put like another hard drug on there. So I was like, Quaaludes. I think those have been outlawed.
I'm still not even exactly sure what a Quaalude is. I know it was like hot in the 70s, but does it put you to sleep?
You know what? I saw Wolf of Wall Street once, and I was like, that looks fun. Maybe I would need to be like, I would need a supervisor though, because if I'm going to break the rules, I'm going to need a bodyguard.
I think it's meth.
Meth?
It's meth?
Quaaludes
Yeah.
are meth? I thought it was it put you to
Yeah.
sleep.
Methaqualone or brand name Quaalude is a central nervous system depressant that acts as a sedative and hypnotic.
Depressant.
Okay.
So that's not an upper, it's a downer.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want one that's more fun. So I'll change my answer. So just insert drug here.
All right, getting back to Jackson's sleep problems. Okay. All we got to do is go back to 1977.
It's not a methamphetamine. It's a methaqualone, whatever that is.
Duh.
Everyone
Everybody
knows
know
that.
that, yeah.
And then it might be kind of fun to be the other woman, like to be the woman that a man cheats for or cheats on you with. But I want it to be like a relationship that's doomed. Like, I don't want to be the reason y'all break up. I just
nice
want,
of you.
you guys are just already breaking up, but like I was the last straw.
Let's do
Cherry
this
on
right
top.
now. Let's take caller number 10 right now. If your relationship is teetering and you're a guy and you need a mistress, we're giving Abby away right now to caller number 10.
And those are the only things I could come up for my list.
For me, one of the reasons I started trying to learn how to play the piano is because I always wanted to like see a piano somewhere where you're not supposed to play it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so quiet, and then you just break out in Beethoven. I've always wanted to do that. The forbidden like rocks and things that you're not supposed to take. I've always wanted to take one.
Don't do it.
You scared me,
I know.
but I've always wanted to do it before that to prove that it is a mental thing and nothing will happen. But I've never done it.
Didn't you steal one in Hawaii and we had to find somebody to send it back? Where?
It was not Hawaii.
Mexico.
It was in Tulum. It was in Mexico at the ruins. A bunch of, I almost said the S word. a bunch of stuff went wrong afterwards. And so a listener was going to Mexico, so I gave her the rock. She placed it back. We read a poem to the wind of God, or the God of wind, and then life still sucks, but whatever.
I want to take a tour of a restricted area, like one of those areas they tell you not to go. I've always wanted to sneak into like a NBA arena and just play basketball with my friends, like just us, nobody else in there.
Oh, like at night?
Like, I've always wanted to do that. And you have inspired me, Bert. Ever since you told me that story about sneaking into a locker room after the players have won or something like that, I've always wanted to do that from then.
Yeah, the Miami Heat won a championship, and me and my friend Kevin snuck in to the celebration right after they got off the court. Just walked in there. Security must have looked like we were part of the accounting team or whatever. Let us in, and there we are. Like, I've got pictures of me holding the NBA trophy with Dwayne Wade.
That is amazing.
He's still got sweat all over him.
I want to do that bad.
It would never happen again. I think in like 100 tries, I think I got that night was the one time it would happen.
Oh, that wasn't the only time you tried it.
No, that was it, man. Hell no. I was just drunk enough. Chris, what do you got?
All right, so I would like to go at minimum 120 miles per hour on the highway.
Oh, I've done that. It is intoxicating. It is. Yeah.
We're not supposed to admit our felonies on the air.
I've already told you, man, that strip of highway between Atlanta and Nashville, there's no cops out there, man. Have a good time.
I really want to dump a drink on somebody's head. Like just do the slow pour over top of their head. I really would like to hit another car, and not like one of those whatever derbies that they call where the
demolition
derbies. Yes,
I was about to say, save that for court.
Yeah. So, but I would like to hit another car. I would love to get arrested at a protest. Like just knowing I was standing up for something I really believed in and I got arrested for it would feel like a badge of honor. And then unlike Mo, who wants to play the piano in a place where you're not supposed to, like it's silent, and you go, I want to make a really loud fart sound during a profound public moment.
Of course you do. Right. Like a State of the Union speech or something.
Yes, and then all of a sudden in the background you just hear
We're idiots. Sports, you don't care about it. You don't care about the scores. You don't care about the championships. But sports is a soap opera, and there is a heated, weird one going on right now with the FBI and a former Olympian.
This one is insane, and what a story it is. If you have not heard about this man went from being a decorated Olympic snowboarder to literally being on the FBI's most wanted list.
Oh, my God.
There is a $10 million reward for information leading to the arrest of former Olympic snowboarder Ryan Wedding.
You just say a $10 million bounty on this dude?
What do you do for $10 million?
He was allegedly running a multinational drug trafficking network and orchestrating multiple murders related to the drug ring. Murders and drugs. He is 43 years old. He made the top 10 most wanted list on Thursday, and they said in a quote that Ryan Wedding went from shredding powder on the slopes at the Olympics to distributing powder cocaine on the streets of U.S. cities and in his native home, Canada.
You know, whoever wrote that was like, I ate with that one. That was a bar.
And you don't expect this from a Canadian.
No, right? Yeah, they said that the alleged murders of his competitors make him a very dangerous man. So he also has allies that he's been going by while he has been a part of this drug ring. He's going by El Jefe, Public Enemy, and James Conrad King. He was charged in June for murder and drug crimes, and those crimes were augmented in September in an indictment that alleged Wedding and others arranged the shipment of 60 tons of cocaine a year.
Oh, my God.
Using long-haul semi-trucks to move the drugs between Colombia, Mexico, Southern California, and Canada. In announcing the indictment in October, the FBI said a dozen people had already been arrested in connection with the case, and the U.S. authorities alleged that the group killed 2 members of a family in Canada in retaliation for a stolen drug shipment and what officials say has been a case of mistaken identity, as well as 2 other people, according to officials and federal court filings. He placed 24th in the parallel giant slalom in the 2002 Olympics, and now he is on the top 10 most wanted list in the FBI for running a drug pit.
What a fascinating story, man. Like, I almost feel like I need to know the background of it because you're training so much. I mean, your whole world is about health for a while, right? Then you make it to the Olympics. And then to go from that to being on the top 10 FBI list.
Something happened.
Something happened.
From what I was reading, I guess the pressures of the Olympics, and at some point he just lost the passion for it and wanted to find a different way to kind of keep the money rolling. And for some odd reason, this is the direction he chose to go in.
That is crazy, man.
That's a lot of drugs, man.
So many drugs.
60
A lot
tons.
of powder he's shredding.
Yes.
24th in the Olympics, however, on the top 10 FBI list.
Well, I mean, he finally cracked the top 10, so...
I don't think he would have been a top 10 snowboarder.
and it doesn't have any of the history there, how he goes from one place to the other.
No, it literally just says that they are still trying to figure out exactly what got him into it. Because I mean, he was trying not to get caught all of this time. So a lot of the information people just don't have, but they're figuring it out as they go. But they're certainly looking for him, and he's a very dangerous man.
Damn.
Long story short, Bert got tired of hearing me complain about being weak AF and needing to get in the gym, so he put me on the spot on the air, and now I have to go work out today.
Is that really how it all went down? Really? Is that how it went down?
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
Yes.
Yeah, Kristen has, for the longest time,
A year.
said that, no, it was longer than that you want to get in shape, but you just don't like the gym. So you'll dabble in yoga. You dabbled in Pilates on Friday also. And then it kind of goes away. And I try to give her fitness advice, and she takes it for about a second, and then she doesn't do anything with it. So yeah, I put her on the spot, and it was time to take yourself seriously when it comes to this.
You remember that time you and I went to our little gym here in our building and you showed me how to use the machines properly and to be slow and
Deliberate.
Deliberate is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, I haven't been back down there since.
That's why I put it into somebody else's hands.
All right, so I am now in cahoots with Simply Buckhead, a magazine, and also Pinnacle Fitness, a gym. And I have a trainer. I'm doing my body composition scan today, and I am going to be doing strength training twice, if not 3 times a week. I went to a place called Stat Wellness, and they did a composition scan as well. And let's just say, I'm a little bit on the weak side.
So do you know what this whole test is about, and do you know why strength training is so important?
Yeah, no, especially for women of a certain age. It's so much fun being a woman. Our bodies deteriorate a lot faster than men's. And it's just for our health and for longevity, and also not just to live longer, but to live longer better. Strength training is a necessity for women.
And the body
Composition scan?
That's the one.
Yep.
Is going to tell you what?
I don't know.
Okay. So here's the thing, I think, which might tweak and get you more into this whole thing, is if you know exactly what the results are going to provide for you. For me, I told Krista when she told me she was doing this test this morning, I would have woken up and gone, oh my God, I can't wait till 2:00 to take this test, right? And then get the results, because that's the stuff that motivates me to get into the gym. So maybe if you knew why you were doing it, it would give you more motivation.
Well, I mean, the reason why is to gauge my body mass. It's not the BMI, because I know BMI is BS, but it's basically to determine how strong I am and what is muscle and what is not muscle and what I need to work on.
Oh, from working out with you for 5 minutes, I can answer that. Weak!
Everything. All the things. And I mean, you said that and I was like, seriously? Because I have to fast until 11 before I get to do this thing. And I'm like, so I'm not.
Oh, that's not fun at all.
No.
When I was telling you I would be excited about it, yeah, fasting is no fun.
No.
Right.
So, bottom line, this is now my journey. I'm in my fitness era. I'm trying to get stronger so I can pick up my 4-year-old son and not tweak my back every single time. That is my goal. My goal is to be able to be stronger and to do things like keep up with my kid and to be able to pick up my child and not have fear that I'm going to pull a muscle in my back again, like I did the last time. So, it was such a kind, beautiful offer. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and just bemoan, because I know a lot of people would just be over the moon for this opportunity. Are you you're kidding me? You're sitting here complaining about the fact that you have a personal trainer and you're going to be able to work out and do all this stuff. So I recognize what a gift that is. So I want to give that gift to a Bert Show listener. So I'm looking for my Swole-mate. So if you go to thebertshow.com, you can sign up to be my Swole-mate. And Pinnacle Fitness is going to give you an in-person consultation, that body composition scan that I apparently have no idea what it's about. 2 trainer-led workouts per week for 3 whole months.
Wow.
Nutritional guidance, and also a home workout plan to complete 4 to 5 total workouts for the week. Because Jamie said he'd like me to work out 5 times a week. So that's what we're gonna try to do.
Listener Danae here had every right in the world to be totally and completely insulted, and she was going to do something maybe about it over the weekend. Hey, Danae.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so for those that didn't hear on Friday what you were so insulted about, what was it with this mom group?
Well, I joined the mom group last week, or it's been about 2 weeks ago now, and I thought I was going to get in because I just had a new baby and all, and, I fit all the criteria. I was rejected because I was a working mom and not a stay-at-home mom. They said I was a part-time mom.
That's just wild.
Yeah, and I said this last week also, if you're upset by it, that's also not a group that I would want to be in, because if you do somehow, some way guilt them into bringing you in, they're going to be mean to you anyway.
Yeah.
This is not going to be a welcoming environment.
You don't want to be around that energy. You don't need that energy in your life.
But I do understand why you were insulted about it. So did you do anything about it over the weekend? Because Kristen wanted you to protest.
Take that baby and show that baby how you stand up for what you believe in.
Well, I didn't dwell on the rejection. I decided I had to do something. I mean, I was mommy shamed after all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, everybody in here was like, new mom, so you got a new baby, you got your family to focus on, and that all your energy it was better spent there than trying to get back at these women.
Yeah, I know. Y'all said I should forget about the group and just, forget about being mommy shamed and just focus on what really matters, my baby, my husband, my career. But, I am.
Petty and immature is so much more fun.
Yep.
And my focus is where it's supposed to be. I started my own mommy group.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's not petty. That's boss lady.
All right, well, tell us about this group. Yeah.
Yeah, so this weekend, I launched a Facebook group for moms who want a judge-free space to connect, whether they're working full-time, stay-at-home, or, a mix of both. So the response has been overwhelmingly amazing. So many moms working, they're staying at home, they're joined, and we're sharing our experiences. We have support ideas. We have support dates. We're sharing ideas and experiences that motherhood should be about lifting each other up. It's not about, tearing each other down. It's hard to raise kids out here. We need our own sense of community.
Good for you.
So, this weekend we've already scheduled our first meetup in person for this weekend. I am so excited about this. The goal is just simply to create a welcoming, supportive community where moms feel like they belong, and we're all doing our best for our kids, and that's what should matter the most. So I'm really looking forward to this because I finally found my sense of community. It feels like.
You got to go where you appreciate it and not tolerate it. And sometimes that means doing it yourself and building your own thing. So I feel like you handled this the best way you possibly could have.
Has there been any backlash from the original group, or did they even know about it?
I don't even think they've caught on. And honestly, if they have, oh well. This is for any moms out there who have felt judged for their choices. If you don't fit into someone else's version of motherhood, that's okay.
Good for you.
You can create your own space, and you might find just out that there are plenty of other moms that are looking for the same exact community, just like I was, and just like these new women are. And I'm just so excited we have this weekend coming up.
Well, that's great news.
Yeah, I think you handled this beautifully.
Mm-hmm. You made something beautiful out of something ugly.
You gonna offer a trade to some of those moms in that other mom group?
Start drafting
them. Come on over here.
You don't want them over there. You don't want them. All right, Danae, thank you very much for the update. Appreciate you.
You bet, you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, see you now. So Cassidy wants to ask a dangerous question this morning.
I'm doing something that every man listening in their car will be like, and probably 75% of women also will be like, what is wrong with you? And I'm hiding it from my husband until he found out, and it all backfired on me, and he is mad. Now, it's not an affair. It's not, I'm spending money and he doesn't know it. I've been feeding a possum outside our trailer, and that's the most white trash thing I've ever said.
You have never sounded more Louisiana than you do
Yes.
right now.
Because if you didn't know, possums can't get rabies. Their body temperature is too low, so I feel safe doing this. Now, when I came home one day, I was surprised by the Bert Show staff because they decorated my trailer and backyard with beautiful Christmas decorations. And I know it's almost April, it's March, okay, stay with me. They made me so happy that I've kept them up. So one night when I came home, I heard a rustling under the Christmas tree, and I'm like, what's that? And this little possum, it was really cold, ran out from under the Christmas tree, and I'm like, oh, little baby bear, it's a little possum. And we have rabbits that live under our bridge. We live by some woods, okay? We've got woods butting up to the back of our property's a ridiculous word, our backyard. And I've seen deer, I've seen rabbits, all this stuff. So me being a sustainable girl, whenever I'm done with vegetables that I don't want to keep or they're starting to turn in the fridge, I dump them in the woods for the animals to eat because I am nice. And also, by the way, if you put your veggies in trash, they create gases worse than your car does for the environment. So I'm like, look at me feeding the animals like Snow White, saving the planet. Oh my God, I'm on top of the world. Until... And this is another white trashy thing that we have done. My husband's going to be so mad at me after this segment. Sometimes we get too lazy to walk down the 3 steps out of the trailer to the trash can.
Oh my God.
So I will just throw a bag of trash out the front door, and it's not facing anyone. No one can see it from the back, from the street. It's not even facing our neighbor's house. So I'll just pick it up on the way to my car and toss it out. But otherwise it'll just sit by the front door until someone can take it out. Because I don't want to go in and out all the time. It gets dirty, whatever. Well, I forgot one night, and that little old possum decided to get into that bag of trash and rip it and spread it all over the backyard. And so my husband came out, and I got in trouble because he hates when I throw the trash out the front door like that because of this. And he's like, a possum or a raccoon or some animal got into the trash bag and spread it all over the yard. What? I don't understand why we've been so careful. And I was like, but I still didn't say anything because I don't want to get in trouble. And then he went around the back of the shed and I hear my name, Cassie! And I'm like, I heard it from inside the trailer. And I was like, I'm busy. My headphones are on. And he busts in. He goes, why is there a pile of celery, kale, and bok choy behind the shed? And I said, in case the deer get hungry. And he's like, the deer did not come. A possum come. And so then we had a little trail camera.
A possum come? A possum come.
Not only did a possum come,
I don't want to know what that possum did.
a raccoon came.
Oh, yeah. Called all his friends.
Yeah.
And a giant old rat came. And so now I don't put food outside anymore.
Yeah.
Yes. But I know I'm not the only one hiding a secret like that from their significant other.
I don't understand why you wanted to encourage the possum. They just seem so half done to me. Even the babies aren't good looking.
They're cute.
No, they're not, man. They're scary.
Justice for ugly animals. Someone's got to care about them. Yeah, possums and Abby.
Someone care about us.
We'll do a 5K
Get
in
out
the
of
fall.
here. That is cute. That is cute.
Wait, let me see. Find it.
All animal babies are cute to me.
That's
Nope.
pretty cute.
That's an evil face baby.
That is not.
He's just looking to turn on you. It is, man. I feel so seen this morning as I read this statistic. 70% of people now watch TV with subtitles enabled.
Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not me.
Okay, weirdo.
My ears still work, y'all.
Give her 20 more years in radio, she'll be right there with us.
Maybe that's it. All right, so what is divorce dust?
Okay. I'm like, is this really a thing? And that's why I wanted to ask you guys, have you used divorce dust to bust your significant other cheating? So divorce dust is body glitter. So I saw this video from @the_dadvocate IG on Instagram. And this is all about how women are looking out for other women by dousing themselves in glitter before they go out. That way it attaches to the man. And if he goes home to his wife or girlfriend, he gets stone cold busted.
There is officially a new trend where women are completely coating themselves with full body glitter before first dates for the express purpose of outing taken or married men who may be going home to another woman. They're calling it divorce dust. Apparently, in a world where not everyone has joined their local Are We Dating the Same Guy group, women felt the need to get a little bit more creative. And apparently it's working, allowing glitter to truly live up to its scientific name, the herpes of crafts. One woman says, that's actually how I caught my ex-husband cheating. I don't wear glitter, but the other girl did. I knew immediately. Okay, and I can't tell if I'm just Delulu or have a super artistic husband, but that would not be enough of a smoking gun for me to personally end an entire marriage over, but she did. Another woman says, I knew the glitter I've been finding was a sign. So either the girlies have opened their eyes to the harsh realities of the world, or the world's worst crafting supply has become even more needlessly relationship ending.
All right, won't work. We had a case study this weekend, you and I. Okay.
Which is why I find this so amusing that all this happened at the same time.
So Kristen held a birthday party for her husband. He just wanted to do like a wing place. Like he's a pretty simple dude, just wants to go and have wings, right? So we're all hanging out and we are eating and Kristen brings this up. And we all notice that the guys at the table, all the guys, in fact, everybody had glitter all over their bodies. Why was that?
Because somebody wrapped his gift in a bow that had glitter on it. So I'm not kidding. Like you would look at somebody and then they'd hit the light and there'd be like shimmers in their face and shimmers on their chest. And I'm like, why is everybody coated in glitter? And I'm like, Claire and her glitter bow on the gift. That's what it was.
I feel like these are one of these type deals that sound great in theory, but are people really doing it?
Well, to me, it's one of those things where if you are in a relationship and you have that gut feeling that like your man or your woman is stepping out on you, sometimes it just takes that one thing to kind of confirm your suspicion.
Yeah.
So if your guy has been out super late at night, he's been going on quote unquote business trips, and then all of a sudden you see a little red lipstick and some glitter on his sleeve. To me, it's less about like, if my man comes home with glitter, that means he's cheating on me. And it's just the final straw that lets you know he was probably out doing something shady.
You got a secret. We want to know about it, and we'll pay you $100. All right, 1-855-BERT Show. Call us with your deepest, darkest secret. If we believe you, we will give you $100. 1-855-BERT Show. Good morning, Allison. You are on The Voice Disguiser. The truth will set you free and also pay you $100. What do you got?
So I found out that my uncle is not really my cousin's dad, but she has no idea.
How did you find out?
Yeah.
So I overheard a conversation with the uncle and his now wife, and they kind of exposed it. And I was eavesdropping and listening, and they don't know that I heard, and she doesn't know. So it's just something I heard. It was probably like 5 or 6 years ago, and I've just held on to it. I've never told anybody.
And you haven't had any kind of desire to let anybody else in the family in on it?
I mean, I do, but then I don't want to cause problems.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I don't feel like it's my place, but at the same time, like, it's hard because, like, whenever I see her, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you know, like, you just think about it. Like, I think about it.
Yeah, I'm keeping that one to myself.
That would be hard to hold on to, but I
I'm keeping
would.
that.
No, that's not my sink. Those aren't my dishes.
All right, hold on one sec. We'll get you $100, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Hold on. And Ava, good morning. The truth will set you free and also give you $100. What's your secret?
My ex-husband, was a chronic cheater. And every day for a year leading up to our divorce, I peed on his toothbrush.
Wait, what did you pee on?
Peed on the toothbrush.
Oh, wow.
And he never figured this out?
Never. And he brushed his teeth 3 times a day.
What?
So I just want to, hold on. So you had a ritual every single morning. You were getting up before him, or like what time of day did you do? Every single day you would grab his toothbrush while you were in the bathroom and you'd urinate on it?
Every single time I had to pee, I peed on his...
Every single time.
How you don't taste that?
Forgive me if this is a silly question, but why didn't you just leave him?
She did. She said every day leading up to the divorce.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
For a
solid.
while, it was a financial thing, and I it's always easier said than done, but I did eventually.
Yeah, that's the most hydrated you ever been.
Oh, my God.
Those years.
How did he not know? What they putting in this Colgate nowadays?
Seriously.
I got so many cavities.
That's pretty solid. Yeah, right. Hold on one second, okay? All right, we'll give her $100. And Alexis, good morning. The truth will set you free here for $100. What do you got?
Hey, so I did dual enrollment in high school, which means I went to college my senior year. My senior year, I accidentally didn't take a math credit class, so I technically never graduated high school, but I ended up going to GSU for my bachelor's and my master's, and I graduated with both of those.
So you never got a high school diploma, but you went to college and you got your master's.
Yeah, I was accepted into Georgia State halfway through my senior year. So they never saw that I didn't fully graduate high school. And I didn't find out that I didn't have the math credit until literally a week before graduation.
Wow. I mean, if they didn't ask, well, no need to tell.
That's not something you're going to volunteer.
Nope.
I mean,
Okay, hold on.
that's what my train of thought was.
Beautiful for you. Hold on 1 second, okay? We'll get you $100.
Okay, cool.
Here's Danny. Danny, you were on the Voice Disguiser. Give us that secret, man.
Hey, so when I was way younger, we were visiting this country, and I got this girl pregnant. I went to go tell my dad what happened, and he said, "All right, pack up." We got on a plane. I never went back.
Wait.
You guys were on vacation or something?
No, I might say too much. Or no.
Okay.
We were. It's where we're from.
So you fled a country because you got a girl pregnant.
I didn't. I was way younger. My dad told me, let's go. I said, all right, cool, let's go.
Okay, yeah. Your dad was like, you got a girl pregnant, we're going to bounce.
Yeah, and that was it.
What?
Wow.
And nobody knows that you have this child?
Except me and my dad.
Damn.
Never try to follow up on it, nothing.
Nope. No. He told me, block everybody, block that person on everything, and then that was it.
And she's never tried to come find you?
Yes, other people have, but I just keep blocking.
You keep dodging. Wow.
It's a hell of a secret, man.
Yeah, well, we got $100. Yeah.
Might go towards child support
I
at
was
some
getting ready to
point.
say, can you like anonymously just send it in the mail to the kid?
Yeah.
My flabbers are gassed. Please.
I can't believe his dad was just like, nope.
Daniela, good morning. You were on the Bert Show. Hi.
Hi.
What you got for $100?
Good morning. Well, about 4 years back, my husband had cheated on me. I knew the girl he cheated on me with. Whatever they had going on ended. However, I still had the girl on lock through Facebook, and then I found out she was dating some dude. So I started talking to the dude through Facebook. We ended up meeting up, and then I started being the cheater. I started cheating on my husband with her new boyfriend. She found out. However, tried to get in touch with my husband to let him know. Somehow they did. My husband confronted me, but he never believed her. I was like, she's just like stuck on it. Like she just hates me or whatever. And yeah, so then I became the cheater with the person she was dating.
The ultimate revenge.
Yes.
I mean, I
It's a
don't.
very elaborate revenge plan.
You deserve to be rewarded for that.
Men don't have that kind of patience.
Absolutely
we just
not.
don't have that kind I'm trying to do my best as a parent, man. I didn't have the greatest role model, that's for sure. My dad was really bad at dadding. And sometimes I feel like I'm navigating by the stars, and I realize this week that I got to circle back with my son Hollis. And have you ever heard that cliche? And I think it goes something like this: like the sins of the father are also the sins of the son, something like that.
I've heard it. Yep.
So I think I got to swing him back around. I think I made a mistake here. Not a mistake, but it's sort of a lifestyle that I've had for a long time, and I'm nervous. I have glorified partying to my kid, and I think I got to swing back. And I'm not exactly sure how to reverse it, but I do know that I've made a mistake, and I want to try to correct it. So
At least you recognize it.
yeah, that's the first part. Actually, it was Amanda that recognized it and made the suggestion, and she was 100% right after I thought about it for a while. So just let me be completely real with you. I come from a hard-charging family. My dad was a big-time partier and didn't hide it at all. You talk about glorifying it. One of the saddest stories that I think I've ever passed on to you guys is that I came home in high school from being out with some friends, and I came home one night, and my dad was there partying with a bunch of his friends and put a vial of cocaine underneath my nose. The spoon from the vial, put it right under. It's like, hey, give this a try. And I was like 17 years old at the time. So that's the kind of sort of environment, party environment that I grew up in.
Not the healthiest.
Not the healthiest at all. And even as I'm telling that story, I'm starting to get tight in the chest, realizing like how incredibly dysfunctional that is. And there was drinking all around my house also. And I'm not blaming my dad for this, but look, that's kind of where I learned my drinking habits. And when I started drinking in high school, I went from 0 to 100 very, very quickly. I was binge drinking my entire life. I was not scared of trying this and that. In fact, I was encouraged to try this and that. And I experimented with it all, right? And I've paid the price for that as an adult also, as I have now finally been able to put a governor on my drinking. And it wasn't something that I mentally set out to do. It's just like I've lost the taste for drinking, really. And I just don't drink the way I used to. So I can't even say that's anything that I've done and I've accomplished. I just lost the taste for it. But I think over the years that I have set the pattern up, or Hollis is I've probably shared too many stories with my youngest to where I might be glorifying partying. Mm-hmm. And I think it's time to circle back to him and say, man, these are all the mistakes I made. I look back at it and with fun. I mean, I had a great time. That is for sure. And nothing truly, thankfully, bad ever happened to me, but good Lord, it sure could have. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've shared this story with you before. And if you guys have kids in the car, you probably want to skip on this one.
But we're going to leave the vial of Coke in. You should have hit him up with that one a lot earlier. Sorry.
So this is going to sound even worse than that. I just have never been able to put a governor on my partying. And after high school, in college, I was doing so much cocaine that one night my heart started palpitating and my fingernails turned all white. And I was telling a friend of mine that, who is a firefighter, and he's like, I just want to let you know, when that happens, you got about a 50-50 shot of surviving that kind of night. And that was the last time I did any of that. All right. When I was close to death, okay, that was a pretty good sign. But I think that I have sort of glorified it with my son, and I think I got to go back and I gotta tell him some of the close calls that I had and how stupid it really was, and also how it's affected me in my adulthood as well. I certainly have gotten myself into a lot of situations that I wouldn't have gotten into had I not been numbing. And I don't want him to grow up with that. And he's going to be leaving for college here in a couple of months. And I'm just afraid that I've built a foundation like, hey, you know what? College is also for experimenting and having a good time. It's not only about academics, but you're going to make new friends and have new experiences. And I just want to make sure that I haven't set him up to fail.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I feel like it's a great time now, because I know in my family, I watched a lot of like my uncles and the older guys struggle with drinking. They drunk really heavily, and that was just what I witnessed. And I think at a certain point in my life, I kind of naturally went that route too, just because I've seen that's what they did. But as I think reflecting upon that now that I'm older, I realize how that didn't help them and how unhealthy it really was. Right. And I think that's a part of the reason why I stopped drinking as much now.
I also feel like for him to get to the point where because I feel like everybody who goes through a party phase gets to the point where they realize it's not that fun anymore. Mm-hmm. And I think regardless of the way you were raised or your opinions on partying, if you ever go down that route, I feel like most people get to a point where they know when to rein it in. Like, I grew up completely opposite to how I'm assuming you painted partying to Hollis. Like, I grew up very, very Christian, was told no drinking whatsoever until I turned 18. And my mom was like, why aren't you drinking more? But I grew up thinking I would never be someone who would go out and drink or do any of these things. And then when I went to college and I started experimenting and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun, I still got to a point where I'm like, this is my limit. You know, it's fun, but it's not that fun. But I feel like for people to get to that place where you're able to rein yourself in, you have to go down that route. And so I really feel like no matter how you raised him, I mean, I'm glad you didn't put cocaine under his nose, but I feel
at least better than my dad.
I feel like regardless of the reins that you put on him in his childhood, I still feel like people are going to go to college, people are going to experiment, and they have to figure out where their limits are and boundaries are for themselves so that they can enforce it throughout their life without feeling like I'm doing this because my parents said so, or I'm doing this because my parents said not to do that.
Yeah, and I've got a couple of thoughts on this also. Is like, I've always known the governor. Like, there always comes a part in the night where I say to myself, like, you can either go in here and you're going to go hard, or you could stop right now. And I never had the discipline to go, let's just stop. You know, it's just going to be more fun if I do this more, or I do that even more, or I do that more. And I want to have a talk with him that, do you have that, that governor in your head that's telling you that now it's time to make a decision? And are you making smart decisions?
But is not having a governor genetic?
Oh.
Yeah, and I don't know. His mom has that on her side too. You guys, if you're a new listener, my wife battled addiction to painkillers also. And she drank some wine back in the day also. So we've both attacked those demons.
I feel like this is going to be the tough conversation. And the older you are, the more you can accept this. When you're young, it's like, but it's not fair. But life isn't fair. And at some point you have to accept that and not make excuses that, well, this isn't fair, so I'm going to do this anyway. So knowing your family history and knowing his mom's family history, I think you need to have like a really tough a tough love conversation that, because of your family history and maybe genetics, I'm not sure, I'm not a doctor, but you're going to have to be a little more diligent because it might be harder for you than others to put a governor on because that's just the history of our family. And is it fair? No. But these are the cards we're dealt, and we have to know how to handle them accordingly. So especially before he goes to college, just be like, I want you to be mindful that just because, Todd can do this over here doesn't necessarily mean you can, and you're going to have a similar outcome because your outcome may be completely different.
I also now question the wisdom of being 100% honest with him over my past. And his mom has taken that route also, where he knows everything that we did. And my thinking at the time was like, you can always come to me because we've seen it all. We've experienced it all. So come to me. Don't be embarrassed. If you do have a problem, then come to me. And now I wonder, in looking back at it, that maybe we should have taken a different route.
I don't know if you should take it a different route. I mean, maybe, hey, life is full of regrets. Maybe you should have disclosed more. Maybe you should have disclosed less. I will say, thanks for, being a role model for us. Jimmy's never going to know about my dark years. Mama's taking those to the grave with her.
Until I tell him.
I think it's probably different for everybody, but I know for me, my family was big on protection and not really telling you about those times. And looking back on it, I feel like it benefits you to know because one, you can learn from both. You learn from the good, you learn from the bad. And two, I think at some point it was important to know that my parents made mistakes as well so that I didn't beat myself up so much when I did. So for me, I think if I did have kids, I would be really transparent.
Yeah, he knows very well that his dad is flawed.
Yeah.
He's very aware of that.
But I think what you're saying here is you're worried that you haven't portrayed the partying as a mistake, but rather like all these grandiose times.
Yes.
Yeah, that there is trying to figure out how to relate to him. Like, I know I made this sound really fun and really cool, but in actuality, you need to dial it back.
Hey, Ray, good morning. You're part of the Bert Show. Hello.
Good morning, guys. How you guys doing?
Good. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. I just want to touch up on, I heard what Mo said when he go around people drinking and stuff, because I go around people drinking, and I thought it was cool, and then I started drinking, and then about 10 years ago, I fell asleep behind a wheel and crashed my car, almost ended my life.
Man.
So I got a crack across the L2 on my spinal cord, but I'm not paralyzed, and I'm watching my daughter grow up, so just wanted to put that story out there.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling very much. It's one of those stories, though, like when you tell a 17-year-old or an 18-year-old a story like that, it's totally lost on them. It can't happen to me,
They're
man.
invincible at this age.
I'm invincible,
I mean, they may or they may not get it, but I do think it's important to have it because, in all honesty, I learned more. Hangovers taught me more about drinking than anybody in my family did.
Well, that's why I think the honesty is important for both ways. Like, be honest about the fun parts, but also be honest about the mistakes that you made and how it affected you. Because it's one thing to hear it from a stranger on the radio, but it's another thing to hear about the mistakes from your dad.
Yeah, I mean, he still sees me limping around a little bit, and that's because I jumped down a flight of stairs at a fraternity party and I was hammered. The flight was great, the landing gear, not so much. And it's never quite been the same. So I think it's time to circle back and talk to him about it. All right, so Kristen, I wasn't here for texting tutor, so do tell.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and let Abby and Mo do the recap because I have the follow-up.
Oh, so it said Kristen recap. Sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Something about a mechanic?
Oh yeah, so Kathy basically needed, basically got screwed out of like $1,200 from a mechanic, and she called us up because mechanics are always trying to get one over on women because women, we don't know about cars, so we had to basically text the mechanic as her fake husband. She doesn't have a husband. She's like casually seeing some man, so we pretended to be her fake husband to text the mechanic to say, "Hey, you put on some brake pads backwards. Totally screwed up my car." We took it to another mechanic and they told us that the brake pads were totally wrong. So we want to come back to you so that you give us a refund so we can actually afford to fix our car. But the mechanic was kind of being a D-bag.
All right, and I received multiple DMs after I suggested in our texting tutor, after everything was said and done, and Doug was like, "I'm not giving you a penny," that I was going to be her lawyer. And I was going to text Doug as her lawyer trying to get her money back, but I received multiple DMs letting me know that impersonating a lawyer is apparently illegal. Everybody's got a poo-poo on my lawyer parade. I wanted to pretend like I was intelligent. But I do have several lawyer friends, and my husband's best friend happens to be a lawyer. And so I called in a favor, and he agreed to reach out to Doug. And he actually sent Doug an email. And this is the correspondence that we have, all right? Doug, last name redacted.
Do you want Kathy on the phone? Because she's here.
Oh, she's here. Yeah, I absolutely get Kathy on.
Hey, Kathy.
Hi.
Good morning. Okay, Kristen's got some news for you here.
All right, so you ready, Kathy? I hit on my lawyer friend. He was down to clown. And so this is the correspondence we had with that mechanic that screwed you over. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Doug, as she said last week. I am writing on behalf of my client, Kathy, last name redacted, regarding the serious issues with her vehicle after receiving service at name of auto repair, redacted, on February 27th, 2025. Despite multiple attempts to resolve this matter, including text exchanges with your shop, you have refused to issue a refund for the negligent work performed on her 2018 Honda Civic. To reiterate, after paying $1,275 for an oil change and brake pad replacement, Kathy's vehicle suffered significant mechanical issues due to your shop's errors, including failure to properly secure the oil cap, leading to oil leaking all over the engine block, incorrect installation of brake pads backward, creating a severe safety hazard. These findings were confirmed by a second reputable mechanic. Your refusal to take accountability or provide a refund has left Kathy with additional repair costs to correct your mistakes. At this point, Kathy has left detailed reviews online documenting her experience, warning other potential customers. Additionally, if a full refund of $1,275 is not issued within 5 business days, we will proceed with the following legal actions. Filing a formal complaint with the Better Business Bureau and the State Consumer Protection Agency. Pursuing small claims court for damages, including repair costs and any additional expenses incurred due to your shop's negligence. Reporting this matter to local media and consumer advocacy groups to ensure that no other customers fall victim to similar treatment. This is your final opportunity to resolve this matter amicably. Please confirm in writing whether you intend to issue a refund or we will proceed accordingly. Sincerely, insert my lawyer's name, friend here, insert his law firm here, insert his contact information here. All right, so Kathy, that's what my friend shot off to Doug.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Not bad. Got it. We covered all our bases.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to let you know. Doug replied.
Oh.
Oh. Okay.
And even though he replied back to the lawyer, he decided to address it to you for your quote unquote lawyer to pass on to you. Okay. Kathy, we have reviewed your concerns. And while we understand your frustration, we stand by our work. Our mechanics followed proper procedures, and we have no record of any mistakes made during your service. Any issues with your vehicle may have resulted from pre-existing conditions or work done by another mechanic after you left our shop. Our policy clearly states that all sales are final, and we do not offer refunds once a service has been completed. If you would like, we can have our team take another look at your vehicle, but we will not be issuing a refund. Additionally, we are aware of the negative reviews you have posted online. We kindly ask that you remove these defamatory statements as they contain inaccuracies that could harm our business. Let us know if you wish to bring your vehicle in for further inspection. Otherwise, we consider this matter closed. Doug.
Oof. Man, he's not backing down.
No, they're doubling down, in fact. So what do you think of that?
Oh, I think that I'm going to need your friend's phone number because I may be hiring him as a lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say he did the email pro bono, but he isn't going to take the case pro bono.
Yeah, I don't think this is over yet.
He ain't got that kind of time. He ain't got that kind of time.
Yeah, the D in Doug definitely stands for D-bag here.
All right, Kathy, let us know how it goes, okay?
I mean, I will, but just so you know, I did some research and I can absolutely sue him for this. I have a receipt that is time-stamped. I can take it to small claims court. Like, this is not over, Doug.
Get it, girl.
Good. Not over, Doug. All right, thank you.
All right, so if you go to thebertshow.com, you can sign up to be my swole mate. It's a simple form you fill out, and I just really want to know the reason, like, why? What's your motivation? Why do you need to get in the gym? Why have you not been able to get into the gym? What obstacles or hurdles have you been facing for the past, months, years, whatever it is? And we're going to be like accountability buddies and swole mates. And so we're going to try to get a workout in here and there together. I know with schedules and stuff like that, especially if you're a parent and full-time job, blah, blah, blah. But we're going to be accountability partners. We're going to work out together, and Pinnacle Fitness is going to hook you up. And then after everything is said and done, and I have muscles on muscles, we're doing a feature for Simply Buckhead Magazine.
Okay. All right. I think your way of working out has been very edgy because a lot of people go one day on, one day off, so their muscles recover, while you work out one day and then take 6 months off to make sure they're completely recovered.
Fully recovered.
I just hit my 100th class at yoga. Thank you very much. But I do find myself very much going, it's like... It's working out is a roller coaster for me. I can have these highs where I'm just like, yes, doing the things and feeling good. And then like I get a little bit of a sniffle or I get sick and then you have to miss a couple. Yeah. And then it just feels so good to be lazy and sit on your couch and do absolutely nothing.
This is the problem right here is that with working out and also like dieting and all that stuff too, is that I think we mentally mess ourselves up because when we're on a roll like that, we feel so good about it. Then you miss 1 or 2 days and you just feel like you've messed everything up that you just did the last 6 months when you haven't.
No, and I'm a very much an all or nothing person. I know that about my personality. So either I'm all in at the gym or I am all in on my couch. There really is no in between. But we are all in. We're going to do this and we're going to do this together. So sign up to be my swole mate at thebertshow.com.
You're going to use your swole mate song as like a pre-workout?
Oh, no.
You need a hype song.
I think you need something a little different.
What Jamie, our personal trainer, is going to do for us, when I went and worked out last week, and I actually thought I was just going to meet him and take a tour of the gym. And he's like, you ready to work out? And I was like, son of a biscuit. I'm like, he's like, get on the treadmill. And I'm like, no. And then he made me sweat. And I was like, no. But he asked me, he goes, what is your favorite kind of music to listen to? And I'm like, I'm a classic rock girly. So I love me some Beatles, Zeppelin, AC/DC, ZZ Top, CCR, all that kind of stuff. And he's like, all right, we're going to change the music. Because apparently it is statistically shown that you are happier when you listen to the music you like, and you work out better if you're listening to the music you like.
Oh, sure. That makes sense.
Which makes complete sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were in there and I was just, giving it the what for and then jamming out to some ZZ Top. And so
I think it's a better option than what you put together.
Yeah, the swole mate. Ain't nobody working
she
out
won't
after
be
that
making
one.
an appearance at Pinnacle.
The Bert Show.